Well, first Liz Warren chugged that awkward beer, then Kirsten Gillibrand ate fried chicken with a knife and fork. Now Kamala Harris is claiming she listened to Snoop and Tupac while smoking weed in college. Problem is, she was in school years before either of the two released an album. A New York Times op-ed today says, enough already. Frank Bruni writes, stop it. Just stop it. Lose the sycophancy. Reclaim your dignity. It's good to be relatable, and a little humor, if unforced, goes a long way. But there's a line between courting and groveling. Bruni says Democrats can learn something from President Trump, who doesn't care what people think, and certainly didn't when he was running for office. So will Democrats heed the warning, or will the pandering continue? Joining me now, former Ted Cruz campaign pollster and CEO of WPA Intelligence, Chris Wilson, is back. Welcome back, Chris.
Thanks, Kennedy. Good to be back.
I think this is all very funny. And I was watching Kamala Harris with Charlemagne on The Breakfast Club, and I could tell by the way she was giggling that she had a big fat crush on him, which was fine. But don't pander and don't make up stories. You don't have to. If your record is good, you don't have to make up details about your life in order to be electable. It makes it so much worse. Why can't they see this?
Well, when the New York Times is accusing you of being elite, you know things have really gone off the deep end for the Democratic candidates. I think the problem with this Democrat field is they're really made up of a bunch of coastal elites or people who've spent so much time in the Acela corridor that they've forgotten what it's like to be a regular American. You don't have to be someone's next door neighbor to get elected president, but you can't look like some sort of alien anthropologist trying to figure out what middle America actually is. And I think the challenge and first of all, I'd like to say there's absolutely nothing wrong with eating fried chicken with a fight knife and fork. I mean, sometimes you just don't want to touch it, right? But everything else that you mentioned is just way off.
I did eat a rib piece with the fork today on the 5.
That's reasonable too. I mean, come on. Yeah. You got to keep your fingers clean. Yeah. But I think what we've gotten to, though, is a level of pandering. Like you said, whenever somebody they're going to cite artists that hadn't even cut albums in the years in which they said they were listening to it, it's gone too far. And I think what you see is a level, it's a group of people who are trying to be realistic. I mean, you mentioned Elizabeth Warren shotgunning beers in her living room while her sweetie randomly walks through. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just too much.
And then Beto O'Rourke with his dental cleaning. It's like, close your mouth. Go get serious about a policy proposal or read something for a change instead of acting like you're Danny Vetter.
Well, it's either that, Kennedy, or he could campaign on the one thing he actually got done, which is a courthouse renamed in 6 years of being in Congress. So that's a challenge. They don't really have a group of people to accomplish anything. Where was his immigration fight when it was so necessary for Congress to tackle our complicated and ridiculous immigration system in this country? Yeah, where was Beto then? He was hanging on the backbench of Congress trying to make some more grunge rock songs.
Bro, look at my teeth. I'm awkwardly on a skateboard. My name's not
And now
Robert.
He's America's favorite wandering poet.
He's a dum-dum. I would use a different word, but we're on a family show, Chris Wilson. Who is emerging from the pack?
Well, that's where I was going to go, Kennedy. I think the remarkable aspect of all this is we talk about people who are being fake or people who are coastal elites or the Acela corridor is the person who's probably the most likely right now to emerge because of where this nomination goes through, New Hampshire, Iowa, South Carolina, Nevada, is probably Joe Biden because he's the most normal person on their side.
Democrats are so mad about that. They're so mad an old white man has the best chance, but right now he's got the most name recognition. Anything can happen. One of these people has to break through because right now they have all plateaued. They're all pretty boring, but we'll see what happens. Chris Wilson, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kennedy.
Hallelujah. Topical Storm is next.